Your practice has began using a patient portal. Patient portal is a tool that patients can use to access health information online. The information provided comes from your health records maintained by your physician's office. Initially, when you go to log into your patient portal, this will start from an email invitation that you will receive from your physician's office. That email invitation will look something like this. Your email message will arrive and will contain a link for you to click on, allowing you to access the website in which you can register and access the patient portal. In some cases, when clicking on that link, you may encounter a security feature based on your system or computer configuration. You'll be able to see the link and a preview of the office sending you the message. If you're familiar with the office sending the message, go ahead and click on the link. When you click on the link, it will open the invitation page. The invitation page will contain information from the medical practice that's sending you the invite, the email that the invite was sent to, and over to the right in the red box, you'll see the practice information. If you have previously registered on the patient portal for another practice or patient, you'll see it continue to log in. You only see that you're an existing patient portal user if your email address is registered already with eDoctorLink through either this physician's office or potentially another physician's office. Otherwise, if you're brand new to the patient portal and have never used the patient portal at all, you'll see a secondary link. This information will not display, and you will only see this information. It will include a temporary password. You want to stop at that point and write that password down before proceeding. This is the only time you will see the temporary password, and this is for security purposes. Please make sure to write down the temporary password issued to your username before proceeding. Once you have written down the password, go ahead and click on the Continue to Login screen. The login screen will want you to enter the email address that you provided and in which the invitation was sent. You will also take that temporary password that you've written down and enter that information here as your password. Once you've entered it, you can click the login screen. Don't check the Remember Me because we're going to reset this temporary password. Once you click Login, it's going to take you to your patient portal dashboard. The very first thing you want to do is come over to the far right-hand side under Account, and you want to update your information so that we can change your password. Here, you would put in the temporary password that was issued, and then you would create a new password, something known only to you, and something that's easier for you to remember. We do recommend making certain to include both capital and lowercase letters, as well as adding a number and a special character. For example, capital S, lowercase m, A, T, and then the number 5, and an exclamation mark or a $sign. This way, your information is kept securely and the password is difficult for someone to guess. Once you have reset your password, you simply click on the Change Password link. Once that's done, you can go ahead and click back on your dashboard. Now let's review a little bit of information about your patient portal. The first thing to remember is that eDoctorLink works with multiple physicians and medical practices, and therefore you may have more than one medical record coming into this link. If you do, you'll see that you have a patient drop-down list and you have a practice drop-down list, where I can have, for instance, my 2 children in 2 different practices, but I can also access both of them with one convenient username and password. We're going to go ahead and stick with Test Jane for this training scenario. On the dashboard, immediate information will display, most recent doctor visit, and any alerts that may be sent by the physician's office to you or from the portal itself. You'll notice that you have multiple categories over to the left-hand side. Where you see a drop-down arrow, that simply means that if you click, it'll expand and you'll have other subcategories within that area. If I wanted to review what patient information this practice has on file for my account, I simply click on that and I can see the information. Notice that we have an info source section up at the top. Patient Manage will allow you to edit or update a screen. If you see from the practice, this is simply telling you that the information being displayed cannot be edited, and that information is what the practice has on file for your account. If you want to update any given area, just simply go to the Patient Manage section, and it will open that up for editing. Once you complete your edits, you'll have the ability to save at the bottom of the screen. Once you've saved that information, the practice will be sent a message indicating what information change has transpired. Information under each of these categories may or may not pull from the practice system. This is dependent on how the practice has configured the patient portal. When I want to close a category, I simply click back on the arrow, which closes the subcategories. Some of the things that are important are the My Message section. My Messages allows you to securely communicate with your physician's office. Sending email to a physician's office is not considered HIPAA compliant or secure. You should always protect your health information and utilize the patient portal for any messaging needs. Your inbox is going to contain messages that may have come from the practice to you. You can review that by clicking on the Sent to Me, which would be sent to me from the practice, or general messages that may have been generated regarding this particular patient account. Sent items is just like your email. Whenever you have sent a message out, you can view that information here. Coming soon is our Transmit Health Record section. This will allow you to transmit your health information to other physicians or medical practices. My schedule will show you any appointments that you have scheduled for the future. It will also show you your past appointments. Depending on how your practice has chosen to implement this portion of the portal, you may have the ability to reschedule and cancel, as well as schedule in this module. I would be able to select the provider and set the dates in which I'm looking for an appointment. Because this information is blank, that tells you that this practice has chosen not to allow online scheduling of appointments. My Visits is where information regarding prior visits to the practice will be stored. When you click on your My Visits link, you'll see information from prior visits. Should you have multiple, you will see an entry for each of those visits. It also will break out information that was captured during that visit. By simply clicking on the link, it will expand the details, allowing you to see the visit information. You can see any prescriptions that may have been prescribed. And any line item, as you can see when I move my cursor, I'm selecting different line items. Any line item that has an indicator at the end allows you to expand and get detail on how that medication might be taken, etc. Clicking back on the icon just simply closes that line item. You'll be able to see any allergies, what insurance information was on file, the level of visit, any information captured so that you can use this information for other visits. It will also show you the care plan or patient instructions given to you. So in this case, the patient's asked to return to the clinic in 1 month and call the office if the condition worsens. You also will have the ability to click on Download My Data so that this information can be shared or transmitted to other practices. So the My Visits section, you'll notice, does not give the patient the ability to select or enter patient information because this is information coming directly from the practice based on a visit to the practice itself. Under the My Health section, you will have the ability to look at the practice information on file as well as patient information. You will have the ability to add your own line items so that you can keep track of allergies and other information. The same would go with any diagnosis or condition, procedures or surgeries that you may have had, hospitalizations, family history information, immunizations that you may have, social history information. The My Prescription section also allows you to add prescriptions that you may receive from other practices into your record so that when you're visiting any of the health providers that provide you with care, you'll have a comprehensive list of medication. Keep in mind that you can also look at what this particular practice has prescribed for you. My Results is where your test or lab results will be published once they have been resulted. This information, again, will only be information coming from the practice as you really don't have the ability to perform your own lab testing. The My Health Diary section allows you to track your heart rate, blood pressure, and just remember to toggle down to the patient manage if you're keeping your own register. Same with the temperature, height, weight, glucose, insulin levels, etc. And finally, for practices that are using our statement services, you will be able to access your patient statements. And for those that have Pay Online services, you'll be able to click on Pay Online and you would see configuration where you could make a payment on your account. Additionally, under the Resources section, any education materials that may have been ordered as a result of your visit to the practice can be accessed here. So if you have information on medications or patient instructions by condition, that information should be found under the Resources and Education link. And going back to the dashboard, I just want to remind you that information in each of these tabs can be maintained by both the practice itself, and those records the patient will not be able to edit, or the patient can toggle or change the information source to patient managed so that the patient can add and keep a comprehensive medical record online and easily available to you should you ever need it. Once you're done using the patient portal, be sure to log off so that your information is protected. If you have other questions regarding use of the patient portal, make sure to either send a message to your practice or doctor or call their office for further information.